A teacher could not sleep, not because his body refused to rest, because his mind kept reporting for duty. By day, he read, corrected, judged, remembered. By night, the body lay down, but the mind kept working. The harder he tried to sleep, the more awake he became. Then someone told him, "Do not force the mind to stop. Give it somewhere softer to go." If you are too tired to think, but somehow still too awake to rest, let this ancient Chinese medical story take over for a little while. Fall asleep when you are ready. Qing Dynasty, Zhejiang Province. There was a scholar named Shen. Let's call him Teacher Shen. Teacher Shen worked as an instructor in Taizhou. Not a modern university professor, more like a tutor and examiner. His job was to grade students' essays, review exam papers, guide their studies. Every day from morning to night, he was reading, thinking, evaluating. Is this argument sound? Does this passage make sense? Has this student grasped the meaning? His mind never stopped turning. In the beginning, Teacher Shen could still sleep at night. Tired from the day, he'd lie down and drift off. But gradually, he noticed a problem. At night, his body would lie down and stop, but his mind wouldn't. The texts he'd read during the day were still turning in his head. The mistakes his students had made, still thinking about them. The papers he had to grade tomorrow, already worrying about them. Eyes closed, but mind still working. At first it was occasional, then it became every night. Teacher Shen would lie in bed, eyes closed, waiting for sleep to come. But sleep didn't come. Thoughts flew around in his head. Today's tasks, tomorrow's tasks, students' work, household matters. He told himself, "Stop thinking, just sleep." But the more he told himself that, the more awake he became. Because stop thinking is itself a thought, and a very effortful one. Over time, Teacher Shen started dreading nighttime. His days were already exhausting, and now his nights gave no rest. The next day, he'd be even more tired. Then the next night, he'd sleep even worse. A vicious cycle. His body started showing strain. Sometimes his heart would suddenly race, as if startled. His chest felt tight. He was getting thinner. Teacher Shen knew this couldn't continue. He went to see a doctor. The doctor prescribed herbs to nourish the heart and calm the spirit. They helped a little, but not for long. Once the herbs wore off, he still couldn't sleep. One day, a friend came to visit. Teacher Shen mentioned his sleeplessness. The friend said, "I used to have the same problem. Then someone taught me a method. It really worked." What method? Every night when you lie down, don't think about today's tasks. Don't think about tomorrow's tasks. And definitely don't tell yourself, "I must fall asleep." Then what do I think about? Think about places you've been, beautiful places with mountains and water. The friend explained, "Is there a place you visited that felt especially beautiful, especially peaceful?" Teacher Shen thought for a moment. "Yes, when I was younger, I went to Westlake and to Yandong Mountain." Then think about those places. But isn't that just escaping? Just fantasizing? No, not fantasy. Memory. You actually went to those places, right? Yes. Then let your mind go there again. You don't have to try hard. You don't have to see it clearly or completely. Just let it drift, wherever it goes. Maybe it's the willow trees at Westlake. Maybe it's the clouds at Yangdong Mountain. Maybe it's the sunlight that day. Maybe it's the sound of water. Don't control it. Let it float on its own. As it floats, you'll find that the daytime thoughts gradually fade. Because your mind is no longer locked inside the day's pressure, it has gone somewhere softer. And at some point, sleep will come. Teacher Shen was skeptical, but that night, he decided to try. He lay down, closed his eyes, didn't think about the papers he'd graded today, didn't think about what he had to do tomorrow. Thought about Westlake. He'd gone to Westlake more than 20 years ago, back when he was young, with friends. He remembered the weather that day. Early summer, he thought. A bit warm, but not stuffy. There was a breeze by the lake. The willow trees were very green. They'd walked along the shore for a long time. Teacher Shen didn't try hard to remember. He wasn't trying to reconstruct a complete picture. He just let the fragments surface on their own. Willow trees, wind, water, sunlight. Sometimes the images were clear, sometimes blurry. He didn't mind. Just let them drift. As he thought, he noticed that the anxious daytime thoughts really did fade. Not because he'd pushed them away. They faded naturally. Because his mind was no longer in that place. He didn't know how much time passed. Teacher Shen fell asleep. The next morning when he woke, he felt surprised. He didn't remember when he'd fallen asleep. It seemed like he'd just been thinking and then naturally slipped into sleep. No struggle, no anxiety, just naturally fell asleep. After that, Teacher Shen used this method every night. Sometimes he thought about the lake, sometimes the mountain, sometimes the village where he'd grown up. He didn't try hard, didn't need it to be complete. Just let his mind wander, wander and wander, and then he'd be asleep. Gradually, his nights became easier. His body felt less startled. His chest no longer carried the same tightness. He had energy again. Later, Teacher Shen told others about this method. He said, "I used to think sleeplessness happened because I was thinking too much, so I needed to stop thinking. But that's not it. You can't force your mind to stop. The more you try to stop it, the more it spins. The method that actually works isn't stopping thought. It's giving your mind a softer place to go." In the old medical books, there were two approaches to sleeplessness. One was called holding, control, like imagining the top of your head, counting breaths, focusing on a point below the navel. Give the mind a fixed place to rest so it doesn't scatter everywhere. The other was called releasing, allowing. Let the mind wander freely to distant, hazy, beautiful places. Don't control it. Don't demand anything from it. Let it drift. As it drifts, it gradually enters a dreamlike state. Teacher Shen used the releasing method. He found that for him, the controlling approach was too effortful, because his days were already full of effort. Constantly controlling, judging, thinking. If he had to control at night too, his mind would be even tighter. But if he released, let his mind wander freely, his mind relaxed, not released into wild, scattered fantasy, released into those beautiful, distant places. Those places had no anxiety, no deadlines, no problems to solve, just wind, water, mountains, light. In those places, sleep came naturally. Think about your own night. You lie down, your mind is still turning. You tell yourself, stop, just sleep. But stop is effort, and effort keeps you awake. Your phone is right there. You could scroll, distract yourself, tire your eyes out. But stimulation doesn't lead to rest, it leads to more wakefulness. What if instead you gave your mind somewhere softer to go, not forcing it to stop, not feeding it more stimulation, just letting it drift toward a place it once loved? A beach, a mountain path, a quiet afternoon when the light was just right. You don't have to see it clearly, just let the fragments surface. Sunlight, wind, water. Let them drift. Your mind won't stop. It will keep moving. The question is only, where does it go? If it circles around tomorrow's problems, you stay awake. But if you give it somewhere softer, it gradually leaves the place of pressure, not escaping, shifting. In that softer place, sleep comes. Teacher Shen kept using this method for the rest of his life. Every night, he let his mind wander to those beautiful places. Sometimes the same place, sometimes different ones. What mattered was that his mind had somewhere to go, somewhere softer than the day's demands. In that place, he could let go, could rest, could sleep. That's enough for tonight. If one line stays with you, keep it. If sleep takes the rest, even better. Rest well. Heerin. Eat, play, heal.